There was a kingdom in Aceh. The people were sad. Their beloved king just died. He was a great king. He loved his people very much, and he was a wise king. The king had a son. His name was Prince Amat Mude. Because he was still a baby, he could not become the next king. He had to wait until he was an adult, and temporarily, the king's younger brother became the king. He was Prince Amat Mude's uncle. The uncle agreed Prince Amat Mude would become the king when he was an adult. At first, everything went well, but soon the uncle changed his mind. He did not want Prince Amat Mude to replace him as the king. The uncle wanted to be the king until he died. The uncle had a bad plan. He asked the soldiers to bring the prince and the queen to the jungle. The soldiers felt very sorry for them, so they built a house in the jungle. The queen raised the prince by herself. She taught all the good things for her son. Soon, the prince became a young man. Prince Amat Mude loved fishing, and one day he caught a lot of fish. The queen and the prince sold all the fish in the nearest village. When they arrived in the village, they met a rich merchant. He was surprised to see them. He was the king's best friend. When the king was alive, he often helped the merchant. The merchant wanted to help them. He bought all the fish and asked them to stay in his house. At home, the merchant asked his wife to cook the fish, but when the wife caught the fish, she found gold inside the fish body. She gave all the gold to the queen and the prince. They then sold the gold and built a home in the village. The prince continued to go fishing, and he always found gold inside the fish body he caught. In just a moment, the prince and the queen became very rich. They were very generous. They often helped people with their money, and soon they became very famous. The bad king heard that there were very rich people in his kingdom. He did not know that they were the queen and the prince. He wanted to know who they were, so he invited them to the palace. When the bad king met them, he was shocked. He thought the queen and the prince are already dead. He pretended to be sorry with their condition in the jungle. He said he would let the prince be the new king. But before that, he asked the prince to help him. The bad king's wife was ill, and the cure was the coconut fruit in a remote island. The bad king had another bad plan. He asked the prince to get him the coconut fruit. He knew the prince could not get the fruit because a dragon lived on the island. The prince went to the island, and when he arrived, he met the dragon. The prince tried to calm down. He introduced himself and asked the dragon's permission to pick the coconut fruit. The dragon was able to talk to humans. He was the best friend of the prince's father. He was willing to help the prince get his crown back. Together, the prince and the dragon went back to the palace. The bad king was so scared when he saw the dragon. He had no other choice. The people were very happy. They knew Prince Amat Mude would become a great king like his father.